Hi and welcome to Bleach Fix. My name is Jack Martin and today we're going to be taking a look at the Nikon S2. Now I won't go into a complete overview of this camera because Kyle McDougall has already done that, and I will link his Nikon S2 video below. Now I picked this up at my local camera store here in a small town, South Carolina. I walked in one day and it was in the display case labeled as a Nikon S. So I came back the next day, traded in a Canon 8U1 program and $50 and walked out with this Nikon S2. Later I found the lens online for super cheap because the filter thread was slightly warped. I've put a couple of rolls of portrait through this camera already, and I've got to say I love the color output of this lens, but I'm not the biggest fan of how it renders grain on Portra 400. I might have to try 160 later, but I'm not the biggest fan of Portra 400 with this camera. But for now, I have a roll of Fujicolor 200 loaded, and we're gonna go see what kind of photos we can make. So let's go. Since using this camera, I've got to say I am really impressed. From the compact and elegant design to the viewfinder, everything just feels right about this camera. Now the viewfinder does have a slight green cast and isn't as bright as say my Canon Model 7, but it still gets the job done. But the rangefinder patch in this camera is super clear. I can definitely focus in the dark with this thing with no problem. The focusing wheel on the top plate is very intuitive and easy to use, and I find myself using it more than actually turning the lens to focus. Now the frame lines on this camera are for 50mm lens, and they do take up the entire frame, and sometimes since I wear glasses, those frame lines tend to dip into the black corners of the viewfinder, but that's something I've gotten used to and I can use this camera with no problem. Something that may turn people off from this camera is that it does not have an internal light meter, but that's no problem for me. I prefer the meter off camera anyway. I really love this lens. It is very sharp and I love the color output, and with the Fujicolor 200 I love those warm tones that I got from it. I'm definitely gonna have to pick up more of that in the future. Now that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. You can find me on Instagram at ojackmartin. I'll link everything below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time.